Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. Let's meet today's players. So first, we welcome back Candice and Pippa. You are our first pair on the show. You were with us last time. Everyone, of course, gets 2 chances to reach the Pointless final, and this is your last chance. Remind us what happened.
We did really badly. It was actually just a ploy so we could come back and spend more time with Richard.
But well, it worked. It worked phenomenally well. Sadly, you didn't get to spend that much time last
Exactly,
last
we're going to try harder
this time. You're going to have to try harder. So what would you like to see come up this afternoon?
We'd still like entertainment.
Still entertainment.
Films or Richard. A topic on Richard. Candice would be brilliant.
That comes up with monotonous regularity, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can't
The
deny
topic
it.
of Richard. Well, keep your fingers crossed. Maybe that'll come up this afternoon. Anyway, very best of luck. It's great to have you back on the show. And next, we welcome back Paul and Richard, who were also on the show last time, who did incredibly well. Remind us what happened.
We got through to the head-to-head. Unfortunately, I overruled Paul on the one answer and we lost.
You lost. It was neck and neck.
It was neck and neck. Neck and neck. 3 points either way on all 3 questions. So
you narrowly failed to make it to the final last time. What's going to see you through to the final this afternoon?
Keep him shut up.
Keep me shut up. No, he had some cracking answers early on, didn't he? I mean, 3 point for the 4-pointer, so, you know.
Very good. Well, very best of luck to the pair of you. It's lovely to have you back on the show. And next, we welcome Adam and Sally Ann. Now, how do you two know each other?
Funny story, I was walking home from work in the rain with this big, massive umbrella, and I saw Sally with 2 of her friends with this tiny little broken umbrella, and one of them yelled out, "Hey, can we do a swap?" So I swapped over and walked with them to the bar and had a beer with them, and we've been friends ever since.
And what do you do, Sally Ann?
Well, I work as a clerical supervisor during the week, and at weekends I become Sally Sunshine, which is a female clown. Entertain children and fully enjoy it.
And fully enjoy it. So I like your little Sally Sunshine, the female clown. Oh, very good indeed. And Adam, what do you do, Adam?
I'm a computer nerd.
That's now a job, isn't it?
Yes,
it is. Fantastic. And during the weekends, Sally Ann is brightening the lives of our young...
I'm an amateur photographer. I like get into wildlife photography, that kind of thing. Specifically, more birds.
Well, it's great to have you on the show. Welcome to Pointless. Very best of luck this afternoon. And finally, we have got Lydia and Ron. Now, how do you two know each other?
Stepfather and stepdaughter.
Lydia, what are you hoping Ron is going to bring to the party? I mean, sorry, I don't mean in the family. I mean on Pointless.
Age. Definitely age.
His experience is what you mean. His wealth of experience. What do you do, Ron?
By day, I'm a civil servant, but I'm a photographer as well.
Do you do wildlife photography?
No, I don't. I do birds of the other kind.
What are you saying? Come on.
I do wedding, glamour and fashion and events. So.
I see. Goodness. Lydia, what do you do?
I'm a research scientist, physics by degree, and I work for the defence engineering sector.
Oh, it's fascinating. I'd love to ask you more, but you would have to kill me.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there we go.
Go on, ask her more.
It's great having you on the show. Welcome to it and enjoy it. We'll find out more about all of you throughout the show. There's only one person left for me to introduce at this year's International Obscurity Convention. He was the keynote speaker. He's my Pointless friend. He's Richard.
Oh, yeah. Hello. Oh, yeah. Hello there.
Hello there.
Should be a good show today. We've got 2 returning pairs who had very, very different shows last time. Candice and Pippa, I think, got knocked out very early on last time. I suspect they won't make the same mistake again. Paul and Richard were a very, very strong pair. In terms of who's going to win, I think we would need maybe some sort of psychic to let us know. We don't have one, do we? Do we have any psychics? I'm getting the sense we do.
Yes, Richard, I'm quite psychic.
There we go.
How did you know that?
Because it's a skill I have. It's like a sixth sense. So who's going to win, Sally Ann?
Us, of course.
OK, let's find out either way how good you are.
OK.
Brilliant. Good luck with that, Sally-Ann. Well, we put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this is pointless, so we are after the obscure answers they didn't get. To stay in the game with a chance to win our jackpot, all our players need to do is score as few points as they can. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave. And each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Now, nobody won the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £3,250. Right, let's play Pointless. OK, in the first round, each of you must give me one answer and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated. OK, our first category this afternoon is fictional animals. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many fictional bears as they could. Fictional bears. Richard.
Yeah, you don't get that on University Challenge, do you? All the correct answers in this round will be fictional bears featured in books, comics, films or TV. And all the incorrect answers on the board will not be bears at all.
OK, Pippa and Candice, before the show you all drew lots, and this afternoon you get to go first. In this round, we are going to give you a choice of 7 possible answers on the board in each pass. The first set of answers reads like this. Fozzie, Yogi, Baloo, Columbus, Super Ted, Rupert, Shardik. I shall read those one more time. Fozzie, Yogi, Baloo, Columbus, Super Ted, Rupert and Shardik. And I can tell you that at least one of those answers is pointless, but be very careful because at least one of those answers is incorrect. Pick an incorrect one and you will of course score the maximum of 100 points. Now then, Pippa. Fictional bears.
Oh, I'm going to have to play it safe, I think. I don't know. I don't want to go out first round again.
No, you can't.
I'm going to go for Yogi.
All right, let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Yogi Bear. There we are, it's right. 63. It's right. Just quite a high score. 63 for Yogi Bear, Richard.
Yeah, pretty big score, Pippa. First appeared in his own series after being on the Huckleberry Hound show.
So then, Paul, we come to you. Fictional bears.
I'm going to try, and he's going to hate me if I'm wrong, Shardik.
OK, let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Shardik. Well done, it's right, Paul. It's right. That could be an excellent answer. Let's see how far down that goes. Shardik is pointless! Very, very well done indeed. That adds £250 to today's jackpot, takes the total up to £3,500 and it scores you nothing. Well done, Paul. Shardik.
Yeah, well played, Paul. Shardik was created by Richard Adams as a follow-up to Watership Down.
Fantastic. Our first pointless for a while. So, Sally-Ann, fictional bears. Fictional bears.
I'm going to pick Baloo. I think it's a bear in Jungle Book, but I'm not sure whether it's a monkey, but I will go for Baloo.
You're going to go for Baloo and hope that it's a bear.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Baloo. Down it goes, 16 for Baloo, Sally-Ann, 16. Not a bad answer. Baloo.
Yeah, Baloo the bear. Well done, Sally-Ann, and as you say, from the Jungle Book.
And so, Lydia, remember, we're looking for fictional bears.
Fozzie, I think, might be a Muppet. Whether or not it's a Muppet bear, I'm not sure of. Rupert, obviously, Rupert the bear. Columbus, I'm wondering if it's coming from the Golden Compass series. But I'm not confident enough, so I'm just going to go for Super Ted and hope there wasn't enough young people maybe answering. So, Super Ted, please.
Super Ted it is. OK, well, let's see if Super Ted is right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Good luck, Lydia. It's right. Wow, look at that, Lydia. That's brilliant. Super Ted scores you 2. That's a fantastic score.
Yeah, well played, Lydia. So obviously, it's a generational thing, Super Ted and his arch nemesis, Texas Pete, voiced by Derek Griffiths, Super Ted. way back when. Let's take a look at the rest of the board. Rupert Bear, obviously, is a bear, would have scored you a fairly hefty 49 points. Fozzie Bear is a bear, the clue's in the name, he would have scored you 3 from the Muppets. And if you had said Columbus, Lydia, you'd be on 100 points. It's an incorrect answer. The birthplace of Jack Nicklaus, the golden bear, but not a fictional bear.
Thank you very much, Richard. Well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Paul and Richard, you have the best score. Nothing. Then up to Lydia and Ron on 2, then up to Sally Ann and Adam on 16, and then way out ahead, Pippa and Candice, way out ahead. Candice, you're going to have to be brilliant on your fictional bears.
I'll try.
Is all I'm saying. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 7 more answers on the board. We were looking for fictional bears, and our second board looks like this. Paddington, Fargas, Bungle, Barnaby, Yorick, Burnison, Sooty, Boo Boo. I'll read those again. Paddington, Fargas, Bungle, Barnaby, Yorick, Burnison, Sooty, and Boo Boo. And again, I can tell you that at least one of those answers is pointless, but be very careful. There is also at least one incorrect answer among those. So if you pick one of those, you will score the maximum of 100 points. Now, Ron, Lydia did incredibly well with Super Ted there. She scored 2 points. 2 points. The high scorers are Candice and Pippa on 63. If you can score 60 or less with this answer, you are through to the next round.
I'll go for Barnaby.
You're going to go for Barnaby. There's your red line. Below that red line, you are through to the next round. Barnaby, is that right? And if it is, how many people said it? Well done, Ron. That is a pointless answer. It adds £250 to today's jackpot, takes the total up to 3,750, and it scores you absolutely nothing, leaving your total at 2. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Ron. A singing, dancing and juggling bear from an early 70s children's TV show.
From the 70s?
From the 70s, yeah.
That's why you brought Ron along, Lydia.
There we go.
That's what he's here for, and he has performed perfectly. That jackpot is now bigger thanks to Ron, and your score is fantastically low. You are through to the next round. OK, Adam.
OK.
Your score is 16. The high scorers remain Candice and Pippa on 63. Should you score 46 or less in this pass, you are through to the next round. We're looking for fictional bears. What do you think?
There's not a whole lot of names that are ringing out as bears for me there, but I'll go with the one that I do know, which is Boo Boo.
OK, you're going to go for Boo Boo. Is Boo Boo right? And if it is, how many people said it? Boo Boo. Very well done. You are through to the next round. 19 for Boo Boo. Takes your total up to 35. Boo Boo, Richard.
Boo Boo to you too. Yeah, of course, Yogi Bear's psychic in Jellystone Park. Very good
Yogi
answer.
Bear's
Safely
psychic?
through. Sorry?
Yogi Bear's psychic?
Yogi Bear's psychic, yeah. He used to be able to tell Yogi when I think the ranger's coming. I'm pretty sure he is. No, it's Yogi Bear's sidekick, as well you know.
Thank you very much, Richard. So we come to Richard and Paul. You are on nothing, thanks to Paul's excellent answer in the first pass. The high scorers remain Candice and Pippa on 63, which means 62 or less will be enough to see you through to the next round. There might be another pointless answer on that board.
Yeah, I'm not going to risk it. I'm going for Bungle off Rainbow.
You're going to go for Bungle. Bungle, is it right? And if so, how many people said it? Very well done, Richard. You're through. Oh, look at that. What an excellent answer, Richard. 1 point. Takes your total to 1, the lowest score in the round. Richard.
How is Bungle only scoring 1 point?
Because we're old, Richard.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, of course. Friends, of course, with Zippy and George.
Candice and Pippa, I have terrible news for you. No, I have terrible news for you. You haven't even submitted your second answer, and you are already the high scorers.
I wanted to make you feel better.
Listen, Candice, here's what you could do.
I know.
You can talk us through the board
Okay.
and maybe truffle out a pointless... Oh, there might be another pointless answer on that board. There just could be.
I am going to try and get a pointless answer. So, obviously Paddington, everybody knows Sooty, but I'm going to go for Fargus. And it's probably going to be wrong. And it'll be 100 again.
You're going to go for Fargus. Well, let's see if it's right. If it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Fargus. I'm sorry, Fargus is an incorrect answer. You did the right thing in trying to find a really obscure answer there, but sadly it was so obscure, it was in fact wrong. Fargus, yes, that scored you 100 points, takes your total up to 163. Richard.
Yeah, there is another pointless answer up there, but it's not Fargus, I'm afraid. Antonio Fargus played Huggy Bear in Starsky and Hutch. Let's take a look at the rest of the board. Paddington, obviously, was a very high scorer, 70. Sooty, actually an incredibly low score. I think perhaps people didn't realise he's a bear. I think maybe that's the thing. He actually scored 7.
Perhaps it's because we're old.
People know Sooty. Just out of acclamation, who here has heard of Bungle?
Yes!
It's more than one person. Anyway. And Yorick Bjørnson, who's from Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials, pointless answer. Amazingly. He's been in the film, is voiced by Sir Ian McKellen in the films. But a pointless answer, that would have added £250.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. So at the end of round 1, the losing pair with the highest score. It's Candice and Pippa. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. What were we not going to do this show?
Go out first round.
What have we done this show? Yes. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, I'm very sorry we have to say goodbye to you so early again. But it has, as always, been a pleasure having you on the show. Thanks so much for being great contestants. Thank you. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Now, there's only room for 2 pairs in the head-to-head, so one of the teams in front of me now is going to be leaving at the end of this round. OK, our category for round 2 this afternoon is musicians. So can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, our round 2 question this afternoon concerns guitarists and their bands. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you a list of 6 guitarists on each pass. We've asked 100 people with which bands are these guitarists most commonly associated. The more obscure answers will score you fewer points. If you give us an incorrect answer, you'll score 100 points. So there's 12 in all to have a go at home.
Thanks very much, Richard. So we are looking for the bands most closely associated with these guitarists. And we have got Brian May, Thurston Moore, Andy Summers, Kirk Hammett, / Keith Richards. I'll read those all one more time. Brian May, Thurston Moore, Andy Summers, Kirk Hammett, / and Keith Richards. OK, so Paul. We are looking for the bands most closely associated with these guitarists. Now, you're not looking thrilled with that list.
No, I know 2 of them, and I think they're the 2 that everybody would know.
Right.
Keith Richards, Rolling Stones.
Keith Richards, Rolling Stones, you're saying, is that right? And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. That's right. 46. It's under 50, Paul. 46 for Keith Richards, Rolling Stones. Richard?
Yeah, it's a pretty safe answer. He's an avid antique book collector, Keith Richards.
Do you mean antiquarian books or antique books?
No, he's
books about antiques.
He's an antique book collector. He collects normal books, but he's quite old.
Sally Ann. Sally Ann. Now, you're a psychic.
I am. I can't tell the future, but I can tell the present and the past. And I've actually...
See, oh, no, come on. I'm a bit psychic as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm very good on that.
I've got an uncanny ability to tell the past. If they let you bet on previous Grand Nationals, I would make a fortune.
Do your psychic powers extend to guitarists and bands?
Not really, Alexander, but I do know 2 names on there. I'm going to go with the most common one, I think. I know and that's Brian May, and I think the group is Queen.
Brian May, Queen. Is it right? If it is, how many people said Brian May, Queen? $45 for Brian May, Queen. Richard?
Yeah, another big score, though, but he's just recently completed his doctoral thesis in astrophysics, Brian May. Yeah, very good answer.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Lydia.
There couldn't be a worse category for me,
Oh,
to be
come on.
perfectly
What?
honest.
Andy Summers, Kirk Hammett, Slash, Thurston Moore?
I just about knew Brian May. I'm just going to come up with a band. Andy Summers, The Killers. I just don't know.
You're saying Andy Summers, The Killers. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Bad luck, Lydia. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, as you probably surmised. That scores you the maximum of 100 points. Richard.
He was the guitarist in The Police. Andy Summers would have scored you 11 points, so it wouldn't have been a bad answer. Let's take a look at the rest of them. Slash is the hard-living, hard-drinking guitarist in Guns N' Roses. Would have scored you 38 points there. Thurston Moore, very well done at home if you said Sonic Youth. He was the guitarist in Sonic Youth, the New York sort of post-punk band, 6 points. And Kirk Hammett scored less than Thurston Moore, surprisingly. 5 points, well done if you said that. He's from Metallica, Kirk Hammett.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Richard. We're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at those scores. Sally Ann and Adam, the lowest score in the past, 45. Paul and Richard, this time you're on 46. Not far ahead of them. And then quite a way ahead, Lydia on 100. So, Ron, come on. It's all down to you in this next pass. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more guitarists on the board, on the fretboard. And here they are. David Gilmore, Jamie Cook, George Harrison, The Edge, Noel Gallagher, Ritchie Blackmore. I'll read those one more time. David Gilmore, Jamie Cook, George Harrison, The Edge, Noel Gallagher, Ritchie Blackmore. Now remember, we are looking for the bands most closely associated with these guitarists, and you're going to try and find the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Well, Ron, you are the high scorers on 100 points. That means you're going to have to score as low as you possibly can and hope that somebody else makes a mistake.
Right, I'll go with the Noel Gallagher's Oasis.
You're going to go with Noel Gallagher, Oasis. OK, there he is, one up from the bottom. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Noel Gallagher, Oasis. That's right. Yeah, 73. Well, I'm afraid that is an unbeatably high score, 173. Noel Gallagher, Oasis.
Yeah, very high score. I mean, higher than Brian May or Keith Richards. Anyway, no longer with them, of course.
OK, Adam, we come to you. The high scorers are Ron and Lydia on 173. Even if you score 100 points here, you will not overtake them. So you are through to the head-to-head, come what may. With that cheering news, see if you can find a nice obscure band for any of these guitarists.
I wish I was in the last round. I knew the Slash one. It's a bit more my ear, but I'm going to go George Harrison, The Beatles.
George Harrison, The Beatles. A little known combo. OK, no red line for you. You're through whatever happens. Let's see, George Harrison, The Beatles. How many people knew that? Sally Ann.
I know, the best group to come out of Liverpool.
The best group to come out of the world.
I know, true, very true.
It's an amazing low score. I think perhaps some people don't realise George Harrison's a guitarist, maybe. But, I'm not as upset about that as Bungle getting one, I have to say. But it's it has shaken me a bit.
Well, very well done, Adam. 95, not a bad score. So then, Richard and Paul. Richard, we come to you. Again, doesn't matter what you say, you're through to the head-to-head, so let's just clean up. Take me through the whole board. I think you know all of them.
Never heard Jamie Cook. Never heard Ritchie Blackmore. The Edge is U2, but I think David Gilmore might be Pink Floyd. I'm not sure.
What would you like to go for?
David Gilmore, Pink Floyd.
Dave Gilmore, Pink Floyd. OK, well, let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Good, 13. Takes your score up to 59. Dave Gilmore, Pink Floyd.
Yeah, well done, Richard. 13 points. It was the right one to go for as well. Your other answer, The Edge, U2, would have scored you far more, would have scored you 34 points. Richie Blackmore, once holders of the Guinness Book of Records loudest band in the world, Deep Purple, would have scored you 7 points. The lowest score on the board, for 6 points, Jamie Cook.
Is it Arctic Monkeys?
Arctic Monkeys, exactly right. Very well done if you said Arctic Monkeys at home.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, it's Lydia and Ron. We haven't seen the best of you, I'm sure we haven't. That we can be sure of. But what a team you were in the last round. Fantastic team. A pointless answer, in fact, from you, Ron. But I'm afraid we have to say goodbye to you now. We will see you again next time. So we shall look forward to that. Thank you very much for playing Meanwhile. Great contest. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are going to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Very well done, Paul and Richard, Adam and Sally Ann. You've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands at £3,750. Now, you're going to go head-to-head on the best of 3 questions. For each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer, and you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair, and you will win that question. The first pair to get to the best of 3 will be playing for today's jackpot. Let's play Pointless. OK, here is your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Trumpton firemen as they could. Trumpton firemen. Richard, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a good question, isn't it? We're looking for any of the firemen who featured in the children's TV series Trumpton. If a surname is shared by more than one person, we'll only count it once. And I know every single person at home is now desperately going through the same form of words.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, Paul and Richard, because you played best throughout the show so far, you get to go first. Paul.
Right. I'm speechless here for a minute. It doesn't happen very often. We're going to go with Dibble.
Very good. Dibble has gone. Adam and Sally Ann, we are looking for Trumpton firemen.
I think it's going to be one of the answers is Hugh.
Hugh.
Yes.
OK, there we are. We have Dibble and we have Hugh. So, Paul and Richard, Dibble. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Dibble. 40. 40 for Dibble. We'll have to see how it fares in context. You're saying Hugh. Adam and Sally Ann, let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Hugh. Oh, that is an incorrect answer, which means after one question, Paul and Richard are up 1-0. Richard.
Yeah, there's no Hugh, there's 2 pews. It actually starts Pew Pew, not Hugh Pew. So we've got Pew Pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble, Grubb, which everyone's going through at home, so well done if you said one of them, but there is an answer here, there's a pointless answer on the board, and it's Captain Flack. Very well done if you said that. Captain Flack was back at the station answering the phones. Pointless answer, so would have scored you nothing. Grubb 28, Pew 33, Cuthbert 38, Dibble 40, and Barney McGrew 44.
Thanks very much, Richard. Here's your second question. Adam and Sally Ann, you have to win this question to stay in the game. Paul and Richard win this one, they are straight through to the final. OK, here's your second question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many boxers who defeated Mike Tyson as they could. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for the name of any opponent who's defeated Mike Tyson in a professional boxing match up to April 2011. There are 5 names on the list. I suspect some people at home will have a go at getting all 5.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now, Adam and Sally Ann, you get to go first this time.
What's the English guy?
It's not a good subject for us. The only boxer I know is, and I think he's too old, but Alan Minter.
Alan Minter. You're saying Alan Minter. Paul and Richard, you can now talk out loud.
We've got a couple. We've got Evander Holyfield and Tim Witherspoon. We bit his ear off. So we go for
Tim Witherspoon.
Tim Witherspoon. Tim Witherspoon.
Tim Witherspoon. So we have Alan Minter, we have Tim Witherspoon. OK, let's put them to the test in the order they've been given. Adam and Sally Ann. Alan Minter. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Bad luck. Alan Minter, I'm afraid, an incorrect answer. So Paul and Richard have gone with Tim Witherspoon. It merely has to be correct, and if it's correct, you are straight through to the final. Tim Witherspoon. Ooh. Also an incorrect answer. So after 2 questions, the score remains Paul and Richard 1-0. Richard.
Yeah, should have gone with Holyfield. Alan Minter is a British middleweight boxer from a different era, but the good news is if he's sitting at home, he'll be over the moon. That you thought you'd beaten Mike Tyson. That's what a wonderful afternoon he'll be having now. Alan Minter. Let's take a look at the whole list. There's 5 men who beat Tyson. 2 of them were in his comeback fights. Kevin McBride, he gave up after that. Danny Williams, the London boxer, he knocked Tyson out. They both would have scored you 3. Buster Douglas, first man to beat Tyson. That was the beginning of the end for him, really. He scores 8. Lennox Lewis, who beat him 15, and Holyfield, who beat him twice. Second time because Tyson bit a chunk out of his ear. But Tim Witherspoon never beat him.
OK, here is your third question. Again, Adam and Sally Ann. You've been thrown a lifeline there. You have to get this question right to stay in the game. OK, here's your third question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many countries beginning or ending in O as they could.
Yeah, we're looking for any country in the world whose usual English name begins or ends in an O. As always, by country, we mean a sovereign state that's a member of the UN, and these spellings are all taken from the UN's English language page of countries.
OK, Paul and Richard, you get to go first again this time.
Puerto Rico. Yeah. Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Adam and Sally Ann.
We've got Mexico at the moment, so we're going to go with that. Yeah. Mexico.
Mexico. We have Puerto Rico and we have Mexico. OK, in the order they've been given, Paul and Richard, Puerto Rico. Is it right? How many people said it? Puerto Rico. Bad luck. I'm afraid that is an incorrect answer. Adam and Sally Ann, you have gone for Mexico. If it's correct, you win the point. You are still in the game. Well done. You win the point. 20. Surprisingly low score for Mexico, but all it had to be was correct. So after 3 questions, you are even, 1-1. Richard.
Yeah, unlucky again, Paul and Richard. Puerto Rico is a US territory, not a country in its own right, Puerto Rico. So Mexico wins the points. There's only one country that begins with O, but there's plenty that end in O. Let's take a look at all of them on the board, see how well you did. As a pointless answer, Montenegro would have been a pointless answer, would have added money to the jackpot. Very well done if you got that. San Marino, Democratic Republic of Congo and Burkina Faso all scored 1. Trinidad and Tobago 2, Lesotho 3. Togo 6, Monaco 10, Morocco 14, Republic of Congo 15, there's Mexico on 20, and the only country to begin with O, Oman. It's actually at the top of the board with 24.
Thank you very much, Richard. Whoever wins this question is through to the final. OK, here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many post-war Conservative Chancellors of the Exchequer as they could. Post-war Conservative Chancellors of the Exchequer. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any Conservative MP or peer who's held the position of Chancellor of the Exchequer from the general election of 1945 through to April 2011.
OK, thanks very much. Adam and Sally Ann, you get to go first this time.
Right. The only one, I'm not sure whether he was Conservative, is Gordon Brown.
OK, you're going to say Gordon Brown. Okay. Gordon Brown. Paul and Richard.
John Major.
John Major. There we are. OK, we have Gordon Brown, we have John Major. In the order they were given, Adam and Sally Ann said Gordon Brown. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Gordon Brown. I'm afraid, yes, Gordon Brown, not a Conservative. Paul and Richard have gone for John Major. Let's see if that's right. If it is, let's see how many people said John Major. If you win this, you are through to the final. John Major. Yes, well done. There you are. You are through to the final. 17 for John Major. After 4 questions, we eventually have a winner. Paul and Richard are through 2-1 to the final. Richard.
Yeah, Gordon Brown, I'm afraid, not Conservative. I'm probably more likely to beat Mike Tyson than be a Conservative, I suspect. I know lots of people at home would have got some very obscure ones, so I'll take you through all of them and see if your one's on the list. There's 4 pointless answers here. Selwyn Lloyd, Peter Thornycroft, Derek Heathcote Amory and Anthony Barber, all pointless answers. Very well done if you got one of those. Or if indeed you got Rab Butler and Ian McLeod, both of whom scored 1. There's Reginald Maudlin on 2. Harold Macmillan, he was Chancellor on 4. Geoffrey Howe 5. Norman Lamont 10. Kenneth Clarke 11. Nigel Lawson 15. There's John Major on 17. And George Osborne, who became Chancellor in 2010 on 22.
OK, well, thank you very much, Richard. So the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head, I'm afraid, Adam and Sally Ann. Well, Conservative Chancellors of the Exchequer, not a strong suit for you.
No, not at all, especially with Adam being from Australia.
No idea.
I'm sorry we say goodbye to you now, but we will see you again next time when you have your second chance to reach the pointless final. But thanks very much for playing. Great contestants. Thanks. But for Paul and Richard, it's time for our pointless final and the chance to win our jackpot of £3,750. Well, congratulations, Paul and Richard. You fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. Very well done. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £3,750. Now, the rules are very, very simple. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. We've had 2 pointless answers on the show today, and one of them was yours, Paul, with Shardik, the bear. All you have to do now is find one more pointless answer and you will go home with that money. First, though, you've got to choose a category, and you can choose from these 3 options. They are European geography, British actresses, footballers.
Right.
Right then, Rich.
Football.
I don't think there's any
Wipe
choices
the
there.
football out. British actors can go, so I think it's...
Yeah,
It's got to be the geography. Yeah.
yeah.
OK, European geography, please.
European geography it is. OK, well, let's find out what the question is. Here goes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many regions of Spain as they could. Regions of Spain. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the 17 regions that Spain is divided into, also known as autonomous communities.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £3,750 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
Right. Andalusia. Jerez.
Jerez.
Jerez, Andalusia.
Catalonia.
Catalonia is north, isn't it?
That's not going to be... That's not going to be...
What's the Basque when the Basque comes under?
No,
it's
that's
not
in
Basque.
the same kind of region.
So...
Because that's where the sherry comes from.
Jerez.
Yeah, Jerez is a sherry. Andalusia, that's the horses.
Valencia.
Valencia, that's the wine. Yeah, that's the, you know, I mean, well,
Yeah,
hang on.
no,
Those are the, everyone knows those.
But that's the only ones I know.
Oh, right.
How would you
Well, that's 2 more than I knew, so I suppose we might as well stop the clock because we've got 3.
We've got 3 that we know.
That's the...
That's what we've got. So
we will
we'll
stop
go with
the
those.
clock there. Very good.
Yes,
we
I
were
know.
looking for regions of Spain. I now need your 3 answers.
Right.
Jerez,
Andalusia.
Valencia.
Valencia. OK, well, those are your 3 answers. Of those, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Jerez, the sherry.
Jerez.
Yeah, it's the sherry.
OK, and which do you think is your least likely?
Valencia.
Valencia. Yeah.
Valencia. OK, right. Well, we'll put them up on the board in that order, and here they are. Valencia, Andalusia, and Jerez. There they are. OK, we were looking for regions of Spain. You said this was your least confident answer.
Yeah.
Remember, you only have to find one pointless answer to win that £3,750 jackpot. OK, well, your first answer, Valencia. Well, let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Valencia. Good luck. Well, it's right. Down it goes. If this goes all the way down to 0, you leave here with £3,750. It's already in the teens. Down it goes into single figures. Look at that, 4. Oh, I think we've got a final on our hands here. 4 for Valencia. It's very exciting. Right, well, unfortunately, that's not a pointless answer. That's not a pointless answer. You only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. Your next answer, Andalusia. This has to be pointless if you're going to win that £3,750 jackpot. It also has to be right. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Andalusia. Good luck. It's right. It's right. Now, your first answer, Valencia, went all the way down to 4. This may go down even lower. Oh! Oh. Oh, that's unexpected. 21 from Andalusia. Not a pointless answer.
No.
OK, we were looking for regions of Spain. You said this was the answer you had the most faith in, to be pointless. Jerez. If this is right and goes down to 0, you leave here with £3,750. How are you feeling?
Apprehensive.
After that Andalusia one, I don't know. It's up in the air. Like, could be anything, couldn't it?
Oh, it'd be brilliant. Let's hope. Please, can this be pointless? Let's hope. Jerez. Is it right? How many people said it? Oh, no!
10.
Oh, no! That is an incorrect answer. So unfortunately you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, so you don't win today's jackpot of £3,750, which will roll over onto the next show, but you have been amazing contestants, and you do of course get to take home our pointless trophy, so there is at least that.
Yeah, we'll try that.
So Richard, what were the pointless answers?
There's a few pointless answers. I'll just take you through the wrong ones there. Jerez is it's a city, which is it's actually in Andalusia, but it's not a region. Let's take a look at all the pointless answers. And if you've holidayed in any of these, I suspect you would have said them. Let's take a look at them. Castilla-La Mancha, which is in central Spain, Toledo, the capital there. Cantabria, which is where Santander is. Quite often you get the ferry to there. It's on the Bay of Biscay. And Asturias, that's in sort of northwest Spain. Very, very unlucky, guys. You played so well across both shows. Tough category. Well played and bad luck.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to you, Paul and Richard. But it has been fabulous having you on the show. Thank you both so much for playing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nobody's won our jackpot today, so it rolls over, which means on the next show we will be playing for £4,750. Join us next time to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.